So that's the outcome that we're always looking to achieve once we leave the spray booth. But if you've ever painted, or if you are a painter, you know that that is not what always happens. There's a lot of things that come into play when you're in the spray booth or just painting in general. And in this video, I'm gonna give you guys the 30 years of insights that I've had, because I always didn't have a top of the line spray booth like we have here at the shop. Some of the jobs that I've sprayed were out in the open air without even having a booth. So in this video, we'll go through the steps that I do to try to achieve the best flawless finish that you can possibly get. All right, so these are the parts that we're gonna start out on. We've got a new door, and then we have 2 blend panels. So the first thing I do is clean these outside of the booth. And when you're prepping out your parts, you wanna make sure that you take into consideration the back side of the panels, especially when they're off the vehicle, because this stuff will blow out of the back. So make sure you clean the back side of your fenders, as well as the inside of your bumpers. We might be prepping out a bumper with this, and I'll take it outside, scrub it down, clean the inside as well as the outside. That way, nothing from the inside could land on the paint job. So the cleaner you get these parts before you get them in the spray booth, the less chance of having dirt in them, because you're not gonna really pick up dirt in the spray booth unless it's coming off of you or the floor. So you wanna make sure that you thoroughly clean them. So what I like to do first is use my prep sol outside of the spray booth. That is a solvent, and to me, you get more static whenever you use a solvent product. So I do all my prep soling outside of the booth, and then I get them inside there and wipe them down with a diluted water-based cleaner. Also, when you're getting the new parts, make sure you blow out the inside of the doors. Even though they're new, they have a lot of fibers from the cardboard when they're going through transportation, and that way you know you're not gonna have any problems. So get it prepped out, then blow out the inside real good and blow out the outside real good. All right, so first thing I do is I get the gloves on, and we're using the black pythons right now. These are some gloves that I'm trying out because I'm having a lot of problems with the regular gloves deteriorating, breaking, and having holes in them when I'm prepping out parts. So I wanted to go with something a little stronger. And these are 8mm gloves, so they're strong, and they have the little bit of grippiness on them by having this little bit of texture in them. So these have been working out really well, and we're gonna go ahead now, put them on and start cleaning, because you do not wanna get these cleaners on your hands. And you guys know that my hands have been beat up in the years past, but I'm trying to do a better job by covering them up before we get inside the spray booth. And now I'm actually using these when I'm spraying, because I'm noticing that I'm getting cleaner jobs when I'm spraying the clear as well with them. So let's get these things prep soled, scrubbed down, cleaned, prepped out in the booth, and then we're gonna go through the processes of getting clean work. All right, so now that we've got everything prepped out and cleaned the way we handle it outside the booth, we're gonna focus on the spray booth. So if you follow the channel for any amount of time, you know that we're using a product on the floor that is called the Pig Mat. That is a carpet style product that has very fine fibers that allows the dirt to stay inside the fibers instead of turbulating and getting back up into the air. If you're spraying in a top of the line spray booth, you're gonna have positive pressure, which means you have more air coming into the spray booth than you do have evacuating out. If there's a gap somewhere, the dirt is gonna blow out instead of it being sucked in from the body shop. So that is a key thing to getting a good paint job. But obviously, if you guys are at the house and you're spraying in something like a garage where you do not have anything like that, you're gonna wanna keep that floor wet or you're gonna wanna get something like this with what I use here, the Like 90 or the basf dust control. So that is a product that you spray on the floor that's kind of like a sticky solution that is gonna activate this fiber and make it even stickier than it is. That way you do not have any turbulence at all. So once I get this booth filled up with my parts, I'll go ahead and spray down the floor, and then I'll clean my parts, then I'll turn the booth on and I'll get everything blown off. That way the floor is sticky, and when I'm blowing things off, it's not turbulating up. So there's a science to getting a clean job. It's not just throw everything in, wipe it down, and paint the car and get a clean job. You gotta think about the makeup inside a spray booth, because if you've ever opened a door in a booth, you will actually see the plastic move even if you have the state-of-the-art booth, because the pressure is changing and those motors have to compensate for it. So once you get everything dialed in, you wanna let it settle. That way you can come in with your tack rag and get a nice clean job. So we're gonna go ahead now, apply our floor coating, get everything ready. We'll tape it up, and then I'll explain to you about the taping, how that really is a drastic measure to getting a clean paint job. All right, so we've got our floor treated. We're all masked up and we've got everything bagged. You guys know that we use plastic on the channel. That way we can get a nicer sealed up part. When we're painting something, we don't have to worry about overspraying that part, and then you're gonna get a nicer finish with it because you do not have the fibers from the paper that can get transferred onto the paint job. So now that we've got everything bagged up, I'm gonna show you guys what I mean about the way the booth operates. So even though this is a high-tech booth and it's pressurized, you're gonna see that you open the door and your plastic will move. That's why I always pull it tight and get underneath it, wrap it around the bottom. That way this isn't dancing around, because that can turbulate more dirt and blow it up into the paint job. So you wanna have everything pulled tight to get the cleanest paint job. And now we're gonna go ahead and get this thing cleaned down, and we're gonna use our water-based cleaner diluted down with water so that it's not so detergenty, because some of these waterborne products can leave a residue back on the panel, and we know we already have a clean part because we prep salted outside, we waterborned it outside, and now we're gonna go ahead and give it our final cleaning, which is really just gonna be eliminating the dust from the prep work that we did. So we'll go ahead, we'll clean it, we'll turn our booth on, we'll blow it, and then we'll let it sit for about 5 minutes after we've blown it off, and come in and give it our final tack. All right, so I wanted to show you guys how that plastic was moving when I opened up the door, and that's in a high-dollar spray booth. So you can imagine the little things that can change the air movement when you're doing a paint job in not such a great setup. So all these things play a big part in getting a clean job. And one of the biggest things that I've noticed lately with the cleaner paint job is that dust control that we've been putting on the floor. And years ago, we used to wet the floor, but what that does is it makes a real slippery booth floor. It has puddles in it because it's never level. And then you have a chance of kicking up water on the side of your paint job or getting it on your hose and leaning into the paint job with it. So with that new setup with the floor and the dust control, to me, it's been a game changer for getting clean jobs and not dealing with the hassles of wetting down the floor, because not only does it keep it off of the car, but every time you wet your floor down in a spray booth and put that amount of water on it, you get chances of rusting out the bottom around the spray booth. And after time, you're gonna have rust and your booth isn't gonna be worth nothing anymore. So this is the way to go with this sticky solution, because it's thinner, it holds down the dirt, and you're not wetting the floor of the spray booth. as well as getting yourself a good quality paint suit or a lab coat. This one here is anti-static, it doesn't have lint, and you are the biggest object inside that spray booth hanging over those parts. And if you have lint that's falling off of your arm or dry skin, that's why I've been using the gloves lately, because I've been seeing from pulling the trigger, sometimes stuff will fall off of your hand and land in that paint job. So the cleaner you are, the more protected you are with plastic and nice lab coats like this, the cleaner the job is going to be. So we're going to get inside there now. We're going to go ahead and get this thing final tacked. And one other thing that you have to make sure before all this is that you have clean air lines and you have a nice filtration system. So Luma also has a new one that just came out. You can check that out. It's going to give you clean air lines. We're running the SATA system here, but they all use top of the line filtration whenever you're building a spray booth like this. That way you know your air lines are clean, because you're going to get oil in them from the compressor and moisture as well. So let's go in there, let's get this thing tacked off and start applying our sealer. All right, so we've got it all sealed up, and you want to make sure that obviously you're using a gun that is clean. Thoroughly clean your gun, keep it clean. That way when you go in there to spray, you're not worrying about the gun spitting out stuff. You're only worried about what is going to land on it from moving around the parts inside the spray booth. So we've got it sealed up, and now the final thing that I'm going to do before we hit it with our base coat is go in there and look for any dirt in my sealer, tack it off. If there's a big nib, we'll sand it, and then we're going to move right into our base coat and our clear coat. I'm not going to show you much of that because that is the normal application that we do on the channel. Once we get it all painted, we'll go back in, and hopefully we have the same outcome that we had this morning when we did our first load. So if you follow all these steps, you're going to get clean work. And I do the same steps over and over again, which makes me more thorough, which makes me faster, and I don't change the way that I prep them out and the way that I handle myself in the booth or in the shop. All I do is stay consistent. That way you can get consistent work that is clean and nice. So let's get back in there, do some tack work. We'll put our base in clear and we'll go back in and check it out. All right, so we had a nice outcome with that booth load as well, just like the one that we did this morning. And that's why I showed you that booth load this morning, and then I showed you this one all finished up. Because if you do the same procedures over and over, you're gonna build a consistent way of prepping the cars out, a consistent way of cleaning them, and a consistent way of painting them, and that is what it's all about. Getting a system and sticking to it and getting better at it. That way, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna produce the same job that you did in there. And yes, once in a while, you're gonna get something that just happens. That's the way painting is. But you wanna get a system, you wanna stick to it and get better at it. And that's what we did here in this video. So that's my tips to you guys on how I do it every day, day after day, for the 30 years that I've been in the business. And I have changed things through the years when I've seen something better that did work. I'll try it out. If it works, I'll put it in my system. But I stick to the main stuff that I know produces a good job, because most of the times when you do things over and over and you get better at them, you're gonna get that same outcome more times than not. So I wanted to do this video for you guys, hoping that it'll help you guys get cleaner work and you won't have to break out that buffer as much, because you guys know we all don't want to buff cars out. So I hope you got something out of this video, and we'll see you guys on the next one.